Hello and welcome back. Before I start anything, I would just like to. I don't know where I was. I think I was just tired. Last session, I said, "Oh, I think we'll be able to buy the second field out of this lot." Oh no, we won't. There's no way there's enough. I think it's about 14,000's worth of stuff we should get from that if the bales are full. So it's certainly not going to pay for a second field. Yes, I'm a little bit short on that. It's definitely not right. And let's just adjust this somewhat. I've got to try and find. It's like having a battering ram. This is. Yeah, let's get them seeding contracts done and underway. We will get. Yeah, I'm unsure as to what to do, because the one thing I do say, although I was wrong with that, and I definitely do agree that I was. It's not. Oh, why am I driving on the left-hand side of the road like I'm in the UK? Tut. Yes. Yeah. So let me just. Yeah, we'll get those seeding contracts underway. We shall get those sorted. It's still growth. Yeah. What I was going to say was, yeah. I think if we take a slight loan out on the second field, I reckon the corn harvest, although it's not a very good one, from the two fields will probably pay for the loan. So we will have gained a permanent asset through all of the hard work we have done. But also, I think if we may need to take a slight loan out, because we are going to be short, definitely. Not by an awful lot, probably 15,000-20,000. So I reckon if we do that, maybe our canola harvest as well will, and the two cornfields harvest will pay for the loan. That's what I'm hoping. So we won't see much profit by the end of this year, this second harvest, but we shall have grown, because we'll have 3 fields instead of 1, and that to me is an absolute bonus. It's growth on a huge scale. So yeah. Right, anyway, let's grab this. Let's get rid of the front loader. Yes, we do actually. That is true. Now we need to. Yeah, let's just drop this where we did the other one, underneath the tree. This is ideal for this. Huh. In this state. Say. Right, we need to change this now, because this is going to be the one that we're going to seed with, because this is where the FS22 shines. This was the whole reason for me bringing this. I would like to. I'm not sure whether it's right though to muck around with Farmer Andy's work. It's just I don't like the fact that you can. Yes, what body system, forward drive and wheel weights, that's all good. Yes. Right. Okay, let's grab the body from across the road. I think that's where we left it. Yeah, I might have to just put up with it. It is, there are some disadvantages though, and that is definitely true. Oh, I've also got to tip the front. Yeah, I remember. And then this is the right way. The black strips have got to face you. Do like the white as well. Right, we're going to need to dump that out back on our land. We should get weeding and seeding. Let's do this. Put it also next to the tool. The only bad thing about doing that is obviously the toolbox. Mind you, the toolbox should only read in the front. Ooh, that's not really going to dump it where I want it. Thank you very much, Safir. You are a cracking tool. Fantastic. Right, let's grab our bits and bobs then. Get these 2 sewing contracts done with the FS22. My weapon of choice in this particular foray. To show some of its absolute versatility. Okay. Have I forgotten to buy the front box? I may have done. Perhaps I have missed something. Let's have a quick look in the garage. I might have forgotten something after all that I thought I'd done so. Oh no, I have got it under miscellaneous. I left it over by the garage, by the shop, should I say. Yes, I have, I see it. Right. Oh. That's bizarre. So that can't see it. Oh, don't tell me this is then going to be the opposite of... Oh, that's annoying. Just going to test something. This is interesting, because this... Right, let's drop that off, because this is confusing me now. I've never known this not to fill. I've filled this on... Oh, right. Modes. Strange, and there's obviously more to this than meets the eye. I thought I knew everything there was to know about this beautiful machine, but obviously not. Excellent. Right, let's grab that. Let's grab that. Let's roll up to... Fantastic. Right then, let's have a look then. Where are we? 35 and... Ooh, 52. Right, this is going to be a bit of a monster. Definitely got enough seeds to do it though. Definitely. Right, I shall, once we get down to the field, get straight into time-lapse mode. Shall I? 52 is a bit of a monster. It might chatter, I think, especially for the first one. 35. Although, I don't know, I think we've covered everything, to be honest. Loan, so it may be best, at least I can just crack on, get it all sorted. This is obviously going to assist us in our reduction of the loan, basically, that we're going to need to buy that. But I do think I reckon that's the way we're going to go. I think that's... So it's that one there, right. Okay then. Ooh, my life is way too much to dodge here. That was a bad choice. That was a bad choice. Yes, it's that one. On the right hand side just here. It's not too bad. Yeah, but I am, because of the size of 52, which is a bit of a whopper. It's one of the biggest fields on the map. I am going to say my words. I'm going to get these two done. Then we should chatter afterwards about what we're going to do next. Now you're on canola. And we like to give value for money, because not only are we seeding for our neighbours, but for free of charge at no extra cost, this company will also weed at the same time. Yes, absolutely amazing. So I'm going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Smashing. Job's a good one. Let's try and avoid crossing the railway lines. I've done it a few too often times, but it's very naughty of me. Let's get on the road. Although, I don't suppose it's that. So, that's took us up quite to a reasonable amount again. So, what are we short? I think we're short by about 30. Let's have a quick look. Let us have a look at how much field 21 is. It is 64, so we're exactly 30,000 off. I think we're going to do it. I truly do. As well, yeah, just forgetting that we have actually got the biogas payments that's going to be going in from, yeah, it's ticking up by about 1 per second now. If you keep looking at the money, it keeps on going up every minute or so by a little bit. That's the biogas. That's slowly, that will literally, I think it's about 14 grand I worked out roughly. This is a Mr. Excellent calculator, but it's not far off, it really is. It's, yeah, about that. Right, so what we're going to do, is we're going to send that up to the farmyard, even though I know it never gets up there properly. Just, no, imagine, no I'm not. No. Let's do this ourselves. We're not be wasting any money at all, if I'm honest. Let's just crack on and get up there ourselves. Yeah, and then what we'll do is we shall speed time up. We shall, there's nothing we need to do in September. October, November's the month we need to sell our canola. And I think October is one of the 2 months that we could. Well, look, when we get up at the farm, I'm sure October and November are the trouble is I don't want to chance withering. If we're lending 30,000 to do that, we'll get a bit of money back off the biogas payment over the next couple of days while that all settles down, and it will be roughly about 14,000. So it's, yeah, not far off. I think we ought to clean this as well. It looks a little bit ditched. We should clean that, and then we shall settle down, and we shall speed time up. I think we'll borrow the 30 grand. We shall buy the field, and I don't think we're going to harvest today. That was in its own. That's probably going to be next session, but we could sell the canola. It's one less. Oh, no, we can't. No, because the harvesting comes before that, I think. I know I can. I'm sure I can. Oh, no, it doesn't just clear that. Yeah, let's just get this cleaned. Yes, we shall borrow that by the field. Check the harvesting day. I'm sure it's October and November corn, but I might be wrong. It's not something I do normally very often. Wow, that is winky. Yeah, brilliant. Let's drop that back. It's a funny bit of shed. It's got a little bit of spaces in the wings for other stuff. Right, we shall. Let's have a quick look. I'm almost sure I'm right that it's October and corn. Yeah, it is October and November. I thought so. We're going to sleep till the morning then. No, we're not. No, we are not. We're going to borrow 30,000 first. So we want 64,576. Now I'm not sure if that's enough. It might not be. Let's have a look. Oh, it is. We do. So we're 30 grand in debt with 498 euros to our name. We should sleep through till the morning. We should get some biogas payment through the night. 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's getting to that dark time of the year again, isn't it? Things are winding down towards winter. Well, autumn really, then winter, but you know what I mean. Let's see, what payment did we get as well? 2,936 sold bales, 658 from our generators. I knew we'd be left, I would say. We've still got some left, I should say. We should see that tick up through the day. Let's go and see our fields. Now, that's the one bad... there was nothing we could do about it, really. Ah, so 23... isn't ready till tomorrow. So 21 is and 23 isn't. Okay. Right, now this is what we are going to just grab the harvester. I just want to go darting over there. Right. Why is that showing we haven't got a crop in there? Do you know? Absolute plonker. Because I harvested it and I haven't replanted and I missed the window now. Do you know, seriously, sometimes I despair. So I planted other people's fields and forgot to do my own. In all my years of Farming Simulator, I have never done that. What on earth am I playing at? Do you know, seriously? Oh, it's 23 just ripened. No, it's not. No, it's 21. Now then, can we sneak? Because I think we should be able to sneak down the edge of that field. It looks like a fairly decent sized... Oh, it is as well. Okay. Let's not destroy any crop. Do you know, seriously, absolute nutter. Right, I know what we're going to do. One thing I can plant is grass. Yeah, it's not like we don't own baling stuff, is it? Right, so next session I'm going to... do you know, I don't believe... Right, let's rectify that at the very least. It's not like we don't own grass equipment. At least we can... Actually, with it... Is it? Yeah, it is. We've got an entire year, almost a year, of nothing in our fields because some plonker decided he wasn't going to plant canola. So let's plant grass. At least we can harvest a full year until we need to put canola in again. Plonker. You know. Let's change grass. It is Wally. Yeah, let's at least get this sorted. Well, it's fully fertilised, that's a good thing. At least we prepared our soil for everything. And it shouldn't take long to actually plant this. Wally. I got my wires crossed, I think, because I knew I'd got to sell the canola, and for some reason totally forgot, even though obviously I've just planted fields of canola. I don't understand why I... Wally. Oh well. I like grass work. I didn't mean to though, I really didn't. I did want this to be... I didn't want us to be doing baling contracts and then having to do it on our own field as well. That really was never the plan. But yeah, we'll do it for a year, being as I've been such a wally. It's going to be a grass field, and then we'll rip it up next year and stick canola in again. And not being nasty, what we shall do is when we've ripped the corn out, we will put canola in again. I know it's boring that we're having all canola, but then we could put all grass, but we'd be doing baling contracts and we'd be coming home to do more baling. I don't really think that makes for the best viewing. So yes, we should have to do this because some plonker forgot to put canola in. We should do this for the year until canola planting season. And then those other two fields. Yeah, what can be planted still? Otherwise, I'm going to have to do this for them all, aren't I? What can I plant? Barley and wheat. And we'd need to lease a... Oh, hang on a minute. We're even out of... No, we're not. We can still plant grass. Otherwise, it would be shouting at us to say we can't. It is true, actually, thinking about it. I am out of the window for planting everything, so we probably are. Oh well. No, let's not do this. Let's do what we... It looks like... Yeah, I'd not thought that through. And it's not all a mistake, obviously, because the new fields I would have had to plant with something anyway. And I know, obviously, we can only do grass, canola, or we could lease, but there's nothing we could do anyway this time of year. So really, we've got an option of we either plant grass and do a couple of harvests to earn some money on silage, or we don't plant anything and have our fields go fallow for a while. And I don't think we're in any position where, as a starting farmer, we can afford that. So as boring as it is, we may just not do baling contracts. We might just do our own 3 fields for this coming year. We've started our neighbours off. We've helped them an awful lot. We've cultivated all the fields, we've done lots of sowing, lots of baling contracts to assist everybody. I think now we've got 3 fields. We need to get rid of that 30 grand, and I think we need to work hard on our own farm just until we can get back to standard farming with the proper harvester again next year. Hopefully something like a seeder or a planter will come up. We've got the corn header, so we can do sunflowers, or we could do corn again. So yeah, or we could stick to doing canola again next year. I don't want to stick on canola forever, but it is a good paying crop, and this is a 9-metre seeder. I mean, we have got options now. We've got a 300 horsepower tractor, so that we're not stuck where we can't have a normal seeder or planter. And you never know what's going to come through in the sales. You can't rely on it, but you can't say it won't happen. You can get sale items that could make a huge difference. In fact, thinking about that, yeah, get a standard worker. And I haven't looked at my favourite time of the day, have I? Seed tender. That is a good thing. That is, I must admit. But there's the one by H2 Studios. Let's have a look. How much is that one? Thinking about it. Is it under miscellaneous? Can't remember. No. It would be under... Not belt systems. It should be under augers, I think. Yeah, the seed runner that H2 Studios did is 12,000 anyway, so I know it's not, obviously, that's got a bigger capacity, double, but that's got 2 sections. It's ideal for doing seeds and fertilizers. So yeah, I mean, obviously I know that's a normal auger. It does, obviously a lot of things, and I suppose in that sense it's more useful in some ways. Yeah, maybe it's only small, but then again, this is a small map, so I suppose when you consider it, yeah, we're getting actually that for less than we would pay, but we can't afford it now. I don't know why I'm even contemplating it. It's just not useful to us at present. It is brilliant because you could obviously assist us in a lot of things but we haven't got a fertiliser spreader, so it's not going to assist us in that, or yeah, we can't really afford this. I don't know why I'm doing a work. It's very silly of me. Right, let's get cracking. Yeah, so grass it is. We shall plant this one, and that is it. We'll leave this to be the end of the session, and next session we shall get that other field harvested. I'm hoping that there's enough from the canola that we've already got and the 2 fields of corn to pretty much, I'm not expecting it to completely 100% pay it off, but I don't think we'll be far off. Corn's usually a good, yeah, we shall see. And then obviously also not being asked, but it's only October, it will take November and might. We shall see if we can get a cut in by December, even if it's a small cut, because it stops growing, but it will grow and then we can cut it. So we shall see. We are going to need to lease a baler apple, or this is the trouble. You have plans, but we could lease the extractor like we did before. I would like to buy one, but again that means getting into debt again. You just get out of debt with one thing and then you get into debt again. So yeah, we shall see. I shall mull it all over. Everybody knows at the beginning of any Let's Play, it's all expense until you've got all the equipment you need. And if you change direction, then all of a sudden you've got more equipment to buy. So yeah, it swings and roundabouts. It's all equipment that we're going to use again. So we've invested heavily in baling equipment. So it's not like we can't say, oh, let's go and do 2 baling contracts to bring in 20,000 or something with bales plus cost. It's there. We're not going to like. That's the beauty of having the contracts as well. Really, so we're not going to plus switch with 3 grass fields for a season until next year. That's going to bring in some money. I think we probably could concentrate mainly on our own work. We just need to either lease or buy, and I suppose that's the other thing you could say. We could do perhaps a contract or 2 that will bring in the money to buy our own extractor. That we could just look at it like that as well. So yeah, there are options. Right, let's work across the top because let's work with the land, as I always say. Let's not go against it. We've not got the horses under the bonnet for forcing our way across this field. I'm not doing badly though, not far off. Another round and a bit, I would say. A complete or circular round and then a bit in the middle. We should be fully fertilised, I think. I'm sure we are. So it's got all of today to grow. I think it will do first growth stage. Yeah. And obviously this one will then, we can probably get this cut. We should still be doing the cornfields, though obviously one of them won't be planted until November. Why am I trying to go that way? I need to be going down. Yeah, so obviously it is, you always have these ideas, oh yeah, we'll do such and such, we've just got enough money to do that, but there's always something that you don't quite think through. It's part of being human, isn't it? It's working through. I think that's what I love about this game, is it's never as simple, which is just like real life. You can't just think, yeah, I'm going to do blah blah blah. There's always consequences to every action that you take in this game, as there is in real life. Ramifications that you never thought of, consequences. You leave yourself short, something else happens, fields get damaged. I know well no they can, that is true, withering can happen. Or some wally can forget to plant his fields, that can also happen. If your name's Mr. Smith. Yes. But still, it's brought us an opportunity. I've not looked the gift horse in the mouth. I've taken the bull by the horns, you could say, and we are going to go into. The good news is we've got most of the equipment ready to actually do this. In fact, we could do hay straight away without any cost to ourselves. rather than silage. It won't bring in so much money, but it is an option. We've got a tedder, we've got a big baler, so we've got all the equipment we need for doing bale work. It is an option. Or we could lease an extractor, or we could think, let's do one contract or a couple of contracts one night for someone else this back end of the year and buy ourselves an extractor, and then we can go to silage, which is obviously does bring in better money. There's no denying this. It's definitely better than hay, so we could do that. It is an option. Last little bit. Yeah, I still think it's been a productive session. Truly do. We own 3 fields now. We are slightly in debt, but it's not humongous. It's not a. We've still got no. I haven't lifted it. Yeah. Let's have a look then. So field should now show that we have got. To roll it. Yeah, it is fully fertilised though, apart from the patches of red. Right, let's roll it. Let's get everything we need to do on this field like we normally do. It's not going to take very long at all to do the rolling, and then that is the end of the session. I'd forgotten about the rolling. Always frequently forget about the rolling. The terror. To bring our other vehicles back home as well. Otherwise, thank goodness the fence here. Right. We are at some point though. I was thinking about what I said about buying the farm, and I thought, we've got this yard. The farm is fantastic. The only reason I can truly see of us buying that is we've got sheds, and I know it's not as big as the real farmyard, but right, where is the main pickup? Oh, it's over there. Okay, I think. Yeah, I think we might stick with this. I think we might go and branch out. We've got sheds here. We will need a silo, so one of our fields we're going to need to adapt slightly with a silo, definitely. And also there is the... Yeah, imagine there are quite a few mods now where there's decent... I would like to go into cows, I really would. I love going into cows. But also chickens, I think, perhaps first. I truly think that would be a good idea. Right, let's just concentrate on the task at hand. Yeah, but I am going to still chatter. Yeah, I think chickens, probably those from the Bavarian pack. But again, we've first of all got to get out of debt. And also there's no sure bet that our fields have got to stay exactly where they are. We could adapt part of one of them. And I would like to buy, I've said this, I would like to stick to buying things in this area. So to me, we've sort of got a farmyard. We did buy this. I think we should just use it, I truly do, rather than buying something else. And I think, yeah, otherwise it's a shame, because the farmyard is, but it is also, when you consider it is expensive, and we've already bought this, which was really reasonable, so why would you buy a second yard? I don't know. I mean, I know obviously there's the animal side of it as well. I should look at it, because if it's, I think it's nearly 300 grand, isn't it? I'm sure he looked at it. So for 300 grand, you've got to consider what else could you buy animal-wise on the fields that you already own. That's the question I really need to ask myself. Is it worth 300 grand for the animal place plus extra sheds? Plus we've already got sheds. That is the real question. Yeah, also the other thing is, obviously, everybody goes normally for the, if you're going on new farmer mode, that's why I like sometimes to, well, I always do start from scratch, if I'm honest. I can't remember the last time I did a new farm. I always find it far more challenging to And I usually do put buildings down, but usually quite late on, because it's start from scratch. It's always, you are scratching around in the dirt. There's no denying it. There's no way I'm even going to contemplate doing so. But I mean, on some like my Lone Oak, obviously I did buy the Lone Oak farm because the cows on that it was to buy a mod on FS19 that would have given you 500 cows. That would have cost 300 grand alone. So to buy the Lone Oak farmyard with all those sheds and amenities for under 300,000, it was a no-brainer. We've already got the only thing we're short of on this is the animals, the mods themselves, and there are some quite reasonable ones coming out now where they say they're 150. So if you don't need sheds and you've got land, you could put animals down on part of your field. And yes, I know you're wasting part of your field, but it's only part of the field. So yes, I shall deliberate. I'm not saying we won't, because I do love it. It is a beautiful farmyard with so much buildings, but it's just cost. We've got to measure that up against the benefits versus the detriments to us cost-wise. Can we afford that? Are we better to just buy more fields and use the sheds that we already own, and then put an animal down and animal enclosure down at some later date? It's an option. Never say never, but don't discount it. Do love this roller set. You can just about roll across the road as well. That's another reason why I wanted the fields in this. I would like to buy the one, I know it's got the pylon in the middle, but I would like to buy that one as well, and we may put some of them into each other, those that we can, or reshape them a little. I don't want to stick to just everything being exactly as it was. I would like to I do like to make changes, I truly do, if it's possible and if it's for the benefit of the farm. I think that's I don't like to stick to just what everybody else would do. Although, to be honest, you say that, but everybody's got their own ideas about the farms. I think that's one thing I agree with Mr. Sealy P. If you looked at everybody's farms on the Old Stream farm, there are probably going to be similarities with all of our choices, but there's also going to be differences. People are going to make lots of different choices. Some people go to great extent, do some fantastic design work, whereas I tend to be more Mr. Practical. I don't very often do that kind of thing which other people seem to deem necessary. So yes. The other thing is, I have said this, I do recognise in myself a weakness in so much as it's the challenge of beating that struggle at the beginning that I seem to like to do. I don't ever stick around. I did at Lone Oak, and I may have stuck a bit longer. It was just that was the end of FS19 and FS22 was literally on the door. So obviously I stopped my Lone Oak and moved straight to FS22. Or Belleron and Elm Creek. So yeah, I was beginning to try to recognise the fact that my style of playing is it's too at the beginning. But I did on my Lone Oak, when I think about it, I did actually invest in some better high-end equipment towards the end. When the money was beginning to come in, I did actually make changes. I didn't just stick to the beginning. I bought a lovely JCB, one of the really high-end ones that was modded, and it was paid full price for it. Obviously there weren't the sales or anything like that. I can't remember if I did the second-hand equipment mod, which was my go-to for a lot of things. I don't think I did, but I might have done. I can't swear to it. My memory's shocking for details like that. But yeah. So yes, I would like to change in that. I'd like to put roots down a bit and actually stay long enough to really, really do well on a farm and do what we want. So the one thing I am going to say is, obviously every Let's Play has to come to an end, and I am not for 1 minute thinking that this is going to come to an end right now. That is not what I'm saying. What I am saying though is I would love some feedback from everybody else, what you would think would be good ends of play sort of stipulations, like, you need to have 500 cows, you need to own 10 fields, you need to have $1.5 million in the bank, and all of that lot. So yeah, any ideas? I'd love to hear it. What you'd like, the direction of the farm. It's I am definitely open to viewer comments on this, where you all think the direction of the farm should go. It is a cooperative, after all. I do sincerely like the comments of other people where they think we should go. So yes, please, any ideas, gladly throw them my way. I really, really would love to hear them. Even if that means, yeah, buy the proper farm, that is the best option. I'm willing to. Definitely, it's not bad. That's about where we had it last year, and it's off the edge of the field this time, so we are rolled. Let's just make sure I've not missed any. No, I haven't. No, good. We've limed it last year. There's just those ploughing bits. I would like to, next time, if we can, lease a small plough just to get those little wings done. Or if one comes up reasonable in the sales, again, it doesn't have to be massive. It's not a bad thing to own. It's not like the fields on this are humongous. If we get a reasonable plough, it's not a bad idea. Right, so there we go. That is that first field planted again with grass. Not what I wanted, but hey ho, we will roll with my silliness that I forgot to plant the canola. Still can't believe that. I mean, talk about, I'd got 2 canola contracts for sowing, so you'd have thought the penny would have dropped. Seriously. Oh, anyway, what's the old saying about don't cry over spilt milk? There's no point, is there? It's done. So we're going into grass work, and we will for the other 2, because we still would have had that same choice to make with the cornfields, because it's too late in the season. We've missed the planting season. So what do you do? Do you leave your fields completely fallow for an entire year until next sowing season? Or, I suppose though, let's just have a quick look. I mean, there is other things we could do. I've got that as grass. Do we want them all as grass, or do we just leave something and this next year, March? I mean, with canola obviously is out, but that doesn't mean to say we couldn't lease a 4 metre or even a 6 metre. We could do something like that. We could at least, let's have a quick look at the Lemkin, the 6 metre. Something like, that's the point. Yeah, let's have a look at the calendar again though first. Let's try, I think it's sunflowers is what I was thinking, because we've got the corn header. I'll tell you one thing I would like to do though, and that's sorghum. That's April. Now, it's sorghum. I think sorghum's a cedar, isn't it? What kind of cedar could we? Now we've got 300 horsepower. It's not gonna be the end of the world. Let's have a look. Yes, it is. I thought it was cedars. I'm sure it's not actually. No, there's better than that. There's the Lemkin Solitaire. How much is leasing that? No, I do wish it would show you though. I know I can't afford it now. Mind you, Gordon Bennett, 3,926 is not enough. That's okay. Let's have a look. Any of the 6 metre ones? Actually, they're still not that much less, are they? The Terrace. Oh, there we go. Ah, of course. And we've got a front box of our own, so we would only need to lease that. We've got no modded ones yet that are reasonable. We have got that. It's a 3 metre though. Would have liked something a little bit bigger. 3 metres. I suppose we could plod a worker on for a bit though, couldn't we really? It's not the end of the world. How much would that be? There are some 4 metres. I've not got those in. I'm going to have to do this. This is, yeah, bad of me. I don't want to be spending that kind of money though. Because if I did, I'd spend the extra 17,000 on buying a 6 metre, which is much more. We could just do that now. I've got 300 horses, so we could go for that. Yeah. Ooh, the Great Plains. Thing of dreams. Yeah, I'm going to have a look to see, because I've not got... I'm going to check. There could be things on the mod hub that I'm missing. I'm sure there's a 4-metre Amazon as well, a modded one. So I reckon I'm going to look. Anyway, this is options. I don't know that I do fancy the idea of us doing like grass on 3 fields. I'd like to stick to... We've missed the window on this, but there's still the early... I mean, we could still do grass and change your mind on that one, because I can rip that up, cultivate it up, and that'll be just the same as if I'd put horse seed radish. I always get that name wrong. It doesn't sound right when I say it. Yeah, it would be just the same as us doing a full fertilising state. We could cut 1 set of grasses, do 1 set of baling, or maybe 2, and then early on in April we could plant the same as those 2. We could lease a 6-metre, put sorghum in all 3 fields. I'd just like to have a go at sorghum. Let's have a look what else there is though, as well as sorghum in that particular time. Sorghum, soybeans. I mean, soybeans is a good one as well. Corn as well could be planted, but then that's a planter, not a seeder. So, yeah, I think that would be. Yeah, I reckon that's a goer. I do. I think plant all sorghum, or maybe sorghum and soy. Being as we're going to have to lease a seeder, or as I say, what comes up in the sales. You never know what's going to come up. You can't say. Never say never. You could get the 67,500 one we just looked at, and it could be 30 grand or 35,000, and you'd think, I'm going to take a punt at it. You could. Anyway, without any further ado, we shall harvest that field next time, and we shall speed the month on, and then we shall harvest the second field in November, as well as take all... Oh, now that is... Now, I did think this earlier. There is a quandary that we have presently, and that is... We've only got 1 trailer, we can't store, and we need to take that off that field next time. Well, we can run that down and very cleverly use the railway thing as if it's our own storage, just temporarily. We won't tell them that we're not going to send it anywhere. We should just leave it with them for a month, and then thank them very much for their patronage, and we shall then grab our corn next month. See, problem solved. And if I'd have thought of that on the time of doing the leasing that trailer, we could have done that then. It was only afterwards that I was talking, and I thought, you plonker, you could have done that. You could have stuck it in the railway silo, you plonker. So yeah, that is another option. So yes, I'm going to take note of my own words. It's true. Anyway, without any further ado, and no more waffling from myself, we are making progress. There's obviously a bit of a twist and a turn, but we don't have to have grass on this. I don't really want that, if I'm honest. It's my standard start on FS19 was to just grass everything and like do a bit of grass work, but I don't mind doing that now, just to give us something. It will bring in a little bit of income, but by next year I would truthfully love it if we maybe do 1 harvest, if it's a full harvest, or even no, we should get 1. We should get 1, even if it's not fully. It will be either at first or second growth stage, but we should still get quite a few bales from it. It would still have been worth us doing the endeavour of using that bit of seed on it, and also when we cultivate it up, will also give us a fertilised state, so it's not going to be a waste of time. But yes, I think we'll do grass briefly on this one, and then I think what we'll do is we'll rip that field up again, and we should plant sorghum or a cross of sorghum and soybeans. It will be nice to see as well if we don't concentrate too much on our neighbours' work this year. What I'd like to do is what we've done in that first year, which where we literally just did our fields and sped time up to get through the year to just concentrate on our work. It'd be nice to do that, to see what we gain from the harvest. And I suppose that is another thing. We can also expand that. We've already paid for the extension, put those extensions on the thing, and that's a 27 tonner. We could then, I don't know, I'm trying to think of how much tons we're going to get off these. Sorghum's not a bad crop, is it? Yeah, I'm thinking of straw bales as well. Yeah, does sorghum do straw? I don't think it does it? Let's have a look what other options there are. When are oats? March and April. So we could do oats. They're not bad. They're not far off the same as canola pear, but you've also got the benefit of having straw. We'd get an awful lot of straw. I know it's a lot of hard work and it's not a very good payout. Here's a point actually. I don't think I've ever done straw to actually sell. Does it even bring in enough to warrant? It's not much worse than... Yeah, actually. I think that's a go. I think that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go into oats. We'll have 3 fields of oats. We've got a baler. We should do the straw. We've even got a windrow, so we can windrow the straw and do that. I think we have a plan, a working plan this time. So yes, we should do oats. So that is the plan. We may have to lease. And as I say, I shall look in the mod as well to see if there are any reasonable 4.5 metre modded seeders. I think that's the way to go. So anyway, I've said no more waffling and then add another brain. I do like chatting to everybody because I always class these as brainstorming sessions on quite a few of my Let's Plays. It's sometimes when you're talking to the viewers that you think of things and you say something that prods you to think, that's not a bad idea, we could do that. So yeah. Thank you very much for allowing me to throw ideas at you. Anyway, this time I really am going. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're going to continue on this journey with me. And please, any ideas, please throw them at me. And goodbye for now.